As Eggman lay on his deathbed, his final moments upon us, he presents his last few words on video, a final request of his. But what shall be done of this, only time will tell. Only time will tell, my friends. R.I.P. Eggy.
What's going on, my dudes? How do you do? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to everybody who's just like me and isn't gonna be doing shit but laying on their motherfucking ass and maybe playing a little bit of Quake Champions or some bullshit like that on a Friday night. You know how we do. Welcome back to another episode of EggWars, my brothers and the occasional sisters, male. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. And you know how we're doing today. We're rocking the History Channel cap. I'm gonna pull up some History Channel type shit on the background. I don't even know yet, but we're doing it that style. All right. So what do we got to get into? Not a whole lot. First off, shout out to everybody tuning in, but also shout out to my three amigos they're always in my description, and check them out. Arto, producer Chris, and my boy Jack Hinoff. We have another winner of our continuing on this daily neckbeards giveaway. And for today we have picked Whatever. That is the name here, the words what and ever with the comment. My dad had the same theory regarding the IRS. It didn't work so well. My dude, if you want a copy of Neckbeards for Steam, make sure to slide in my messages. Still haven't heard from Words Are Weird, so my dude, I hope I'll hear from you soon, maybe, hopefully. Alright. But before we go any further, we're gonna go ahead here and crack that sip, baby. Let's do this shiz. Whoa! I shook it a little bit too hard, maybe. Because I actually shook it a little bit before I turned the camera on. So I was going a little too wild with it, I guess. But let's hydrate, let's energize and revive as I slowly destroy my liver and kidneys and put myself in even worse health by drinking this chemical filth. Ooh, I'm thirsty today. And always, but especially today. And I know people that tell me, they said, Eggman, you know, first off, you should try some new sips. I'm definitely looking into it, you know. It's just difficult with me getting around right now, so please do understand I have limited mobility. And also, people are telling me, you know, why not drink coffee? Why not drink tea? Why not drink something that's not so bad for you? I do understand that as well, but I mentioned this before, but for people who are still wondering, the sips, I don't know what it is about them, but they just work better for me than like a regular cup of coffee, even if it's the same caffeine. I've taken caffeine pills. I don't know what it is. I don't know what disgusting, abominable chemicals are loaded in this beverage that make it work better for me, but it just works. It just works better, you know? Alright, so what are we talking about today? You know, I've seen some comments over the last few videos. They're saying, Eggman, you know what? Everything you've produced in the last couple years, you know what? Hey, good job. But nothing compares to the original shit. The original, any videos where you're in your car or whatever recording on this exact same cell phone. This is the same phone. I've had it for 3 years now. Same phone I recorded everything on, you know, up to, I don't know. A lot of videos have gone through this phone, and it's still kicking, although it is, let me see here. I'll show you guys. It's not in the best of health. We'll try and cover it up a little bit here, but it's fucking all kinds of flashing and all kinds of, you know, it's not good. It's, the screen is probably not doing so good. It's kind of like half of the screen is kind of like, it's got like green flashing shit going on. So this phone may end up dying, and you know, sooner than later, unfortunately. You know, that's how smartphones are, I suppose. I do have a successor to it in mind. If I do decide if I can get one of those Moto Gs, you can get that for like $200 unlocked. Throw some prepaid shit in there. You know, I might drop my bill down. Might be a decent idea. So, but people are telling me, you know, Eggman, you know, everything you do nowadays, it's so calculated, whereas back in the day, you know, those original videos, they were so spur of the moment, and there was just, you know, it was all raw emotion and so much in it. But I also get questions from people, and they're wondering, they're like, Eggman, what's up with this first last channel? What's going on with this thing? Like, people find me or whatever. Maybe I have a bunch of people who are just tuning in now, have never seen anything else I did before EggWars. And they just saw this EggWars, and they've been watching it, and they're enjoying it, and so that's great. Shout out to everybody, from now to back then to all in between. But people are like, man, what's up with that? So for those who aren't aware, although there is, there's some, you can kind of piece it together a little bit with some of those videos that are on there, but, with everything having been uploaded on that channel all at the same time, which was the day that my original YouTube channel was deleted, it's hard to make sense of it without some backstory maybe. So I'm here today to tell you the story, what happened to the original Eggman channel, why was it deleted, what was going on with all that, who is first, last, and so on and so forth. And we're just going to get into it right now. So basically, of course, if you know about my origin, yes, the whole Eggman thing started just over 3 years ago on the R9K 4chan board. That's where I was at. I was trip fagging because I came out and I called myself Eggman, the Red Pill Master, and I was going on and talking about, I was dropping motherfucking infographics everywhere. I was dropping all the hypergamy info about all the pair bonding info about the fucking micro, what do you call them, Kizarums or Chizarums? I don't even fucking know how to pronounce it. Micro, whatever that women get when they fuck other guys and they hold on to their DNA, all that shit. I was dropping all that info. I was on a full-on rampage against the roasty menace, the whore menace, the thought menace. I was going wild. I was just really autistically raging and shitposting continuously, but on October 28th or something like that, somewhere in the third or fourth week of October in 2014, I just happened to decide I wanted to stream a video game. So I streamed a video game that was Torneco's Mystery Dungeon. It was a SNES game that had a fan translation, because it was originally Japanese, but it was a Mystery Dungeon game for the Super Nintendo. I enjoyed it a lot. I streamed it for, I don't remember how long, maybe however long it was. I streamed it, and I actually beat the entire game. It's one of the probably very, very few games that I've ever actually streamed and also beaten, because I'm fucking awful at video games, so that almost never happens. I've had so many people. Let's just take a moment here. Let's just do a little bit of respect for people who have bought me games, because people have bought me quite a few games over the last couple of years that I have never beaten, and I have not, I've definitely not given them their fair due playtime, and I think about it often. People might think that that's ridiculous, and why would I even care that much about it, but I really do think about it a lot, because, just imagine if you bought somebody, like I had fucking, there was probably been at least one or two games, at over $30 or $40 that somebody's bought me in the last couple of years that I have not given their fair play time, and it's like, it's like buying somebody a nice gift, and you just know that they're gonna, not ever do anything with it. And actually, this is totally fucking out of nowhere. This is totally aside off the story, but I'm just gonna that makes me think of a story I'm just gonna drop in for a couple minutes here. So, when I had my first job, I was working at this gas station, and there was a store near the gas station that I worked at that started selling these, around Valentine's Day. That must have been maybe 2011. Yes, so Valentine's Day 2011. There was this store that was next to the gas station I was working at. They were selling bundles of flowers, but also it was like they had like a sports, it was like a sports memorabilia / flowers duo. So they, me living in Minnesota, but close to Wisconsin at the same time, there was a girl who I had a crush on who was this morbidly obese drug addict, which was, generally the kind of woman that I found myself attracted to, because she had big old jugs, and that's what I like. I don't care, I didn't care that she was a fucking greasy, disgusting drug burnout. She has some big old titties, and that's what I like. So I said, you know what? I'm dropping some of my meager paycheck. I'm gonna fucking spend $20 some on this fucking sports memorabilia flower combo. And I gave it to this chick, and she was like, "Oh my god, you think I would like you? You're like a fucking loser." and then she just fucking tossed it. She never even did anything with it. She fucking threw it in the garbage. So fuck all those thoughts, those gosh darn hoes that, they ain't no good. Alright, now back to the regular story. So I streamed this game, and, I pretty much had done nothing but autistically shit posts on 4chan, but we actually got like 40 viewers on this stream, and people were digging it, but I think I tried streaming like one more time, and I just wasn't really feeling as much as that game I initially played, so I didn't really go back to it. But then roughly about 3 years ago, that was in October. I didn't have any phone then, that was, if you find those old pictures of me where I had my fucking little old, kick slider, or what do you hell you call it, sidekick phone, that's what I had back then. There's still some pictures out there, some OG pictures that got me looking like that. But in about this time, in that, I think it was like in November of 2014, I decided it was time to get my first smartphone. So I did. I got this phone that I showed you, that one that's on its last legs, the one with the fucking Smokes Poutineery sticker I got from Toronto. It's still on there, although it's very worn, but it's still there. This phone has lasted still decently. I can't really complain, that it's still around. But I got that phone. Now, never in my life, when I was growing up, we had like digital cameras, whatever, every so often, we'd have like, but I never had like a camcorder. I never had anything, it's crazy today that I really, I wouldn't call myself like a huge enjoyer or like a huge, film buff by any means at all, but I never had a camera growing up. I never had anything like that. So for me to kind of be enjoying these things that I do enjoy now is a little bit interesting. But anyway, I digress. So I got this phone, and it was brand new. There was nothing like it. And then I began to realize, at first I'm like, oh, I actually created my Snapchat right away back then. So that was, that's why, that's like one of my few things that's lasted as long as it has. I still have people that I have on my Snapchat that have only known me from like way back in like early 2015, and we still talk, so it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so I had this phone, and I'm like, oh man, I could take pictures now for the first time. Oh my goodness, you can look at it and you can take a selfie. I couldn't take a fucking selfie before. Look at my old pictures. I'm up in a fucking, I'm up in a goddamn mirror, because my old phone didn't have a selfie camera. So I'm like, oh my god, first time ever I'm starting to get addicted to phones like everybody else. But somebody had mentioned something. I just remember I was in one of my usual autistic shit posting fits, and someone's like, oh, Eggman, he's like 5 feet tall and he sounds like a fucking queer with a fucking lisp and a flamboyant voice or whatever. So then when I heard that, I was like, you know what? I went out in my vehicle for whatever reason, and I recorded my first ever video, which is on the last channel, entitled Autism Speaks, where, I was like, we're all gonna make it, sometimes life's really shit, but you know what, we're still gonna make it, which is, I think is very good. I think it's a very good, first video for me to have ever uploaded, because I can always go back to it after some horrible shit has happened in my life over these last few years, and then I get back up and start kind of, getting myself back on my feet. I could say, hey, remember, I told you guys we're all gonna make it, no matter what. So that was a pretty cool, and that's alright, but from there on, originally, there was one person who commented on my videos, and I'll be damned if I can remember who it was. I think, like, the way they made their fucking comments, like, seemed almost like a female, which was really weird. You wouldn't think that was the case, but I honestly do not remember, but it was one person. There was, like, one person who would comment on my videos, and I would, it wasn't even like I would even get comments on every video. Like, there's some real interesting, backstories behind some of those videos on the channel, but, there's one, I made, a video where I'm like, oh, I would be browsing R9K or some shit in bed and see a post, and there's a video I made where I'm just literally just like fucking shining the light in my face to respond to a post and then just hitting upload on my phone, you know what I mean? Or there was, my cat laying in my bed and, me recording the cat for like 10 seconds or whatever. It was very sporadic, very random. Sometimes there was points to things, sometimes there wasn't, sometimes it was just me. And the thing was that it was not even, I never went into it with, nowadays, like my dude, he commented yesterday, he's like, everything's very kind of sterile now. Everything's very, it had the production, it went from just sort of me talking and kind of spilling my guts or whatever to now it's more like commodified, which I definitely understand. That's true. But, the way I look at it is, I'm somebody who's very, I'm a changing person, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to put that in like a bad way, that like I'm trying to like force myself to become something I'm not exactly, but I'm trying to polish myself, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, if I can see a part of my life that I could, sort of improve upon, then I'm going and trying to do that. So it's like, yes, I could still continuously, upload, a video where I'm with my camera like this. And I mean, and I've uploaded some of those still in the last year. I remember where I had a better phone that exploded. And so then I started using this phone again, and I did a couple videos like that. But I mean, it's just, you could tell compared to, having the green screen or having the GoPro or having the external mic where I could kind of clean up the audio a little bit, it's definitely not as maybe quality. And I just don't want to be, I feel like I've made, I've been through things, and it's just like, I don't really want to be where I'm still like keeping myself in the same spot, you know what I mean? I want to be about ascension and, trying to uplift ourselves to the best of our abilities. So that's kind of why, I don't really have a huge problem with doing what I do now, although it might seem more commercial, it might seem more, kind of different than it used to be. It definitely is. But, I don't take much qualms with that. So if I do end up doing more car videos in the future when I'm healed up, I'm definitely gonna try and up the production quality compared to what it used to be, back in these days. So anyways, once again, I'm digressing. I'm always all over the place. So this is just what it was, it was just me uploading a little video here or there wherever I felt like it, there was never always a rhyme or reason to it. I like to make videos when I was driving. I thought when I first got my phone, and I could, of course this isn't safe whatsoever, but having my phone hitting record and just like, holding up my fucking phone on record while I'm driving, if I'm driving down the highway, I thought that was just the most awesome thing, holding it up while I'm driving. Oh my goodness. I thought that was just the coolest thing in the whole world. I'm like, oh, this is just, I don't know. It seems stupid, I'm sure, but at the time, for some reason, I just thought it was really, really entertaining to, I'm like, oh man, this is when I was driving, and I drove past there, like in a dash cam with commentary almost sort of way, you know what I mean? And then I had videos, the first video that I ever uploaded onto my YouTube channel that got some real reception was where I made this video, which was really the predecessor to the Black Pill video called I Need Feminism Because. And so I made this video, I remember, because I was actually at work at the time. I just gotten off work, and I remember because I was on my break that night on my overnight shift, and I was on 4chan, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm coming out as a feminist tomorrow, and the thread was going crazy. They're like, oh my god, Eggman, you're the biggest fucking cuckold, you're such a dumb fucking retard, you're such a bitch. And so I went, and I got, and people people say, they're like, oh my goodness, the feminism video was recorded in a government SUV. There was this fucking stupid conspiracy about this for a while. Like, oh my god, it's the government, he's sent by the CIA to try and demoralize beta males. He's in a government SUV. No, it was my dad's SUV, which actually he ended up getting, I think that one got totaled. Or it got hit by somebody, like, when it was parked, and it fucking, like, I don't know what happened. Something happened to it where it's out in a fucking junkyard somewhere now. I don't remember why I was taking this vehicle. Oh wait, no. Was that maybe I had got like an oil change, and my brake line had come loose or something like that and leaked brake fluid, so I had something, for some reason my vehicle was in the shop and I was driving this SUV when I recorded this. So basically I made that video, and there was some guy who, I don't even know whatever happened to this video. Somebody should go try and find this video, because maybe it still exists somewhere. But there was this guy called, like, the Smart Autist or something, and he was, like, not even being ironic. His channel was, like, the Intelligent Autistic Man, and he had this video where he basically broke down my video, and it was like, oh my goodness, this man is demented. He's saying beta males should go extinct. and because Chads are genetically superior and they're the only ones that should be breeding and all this stuff. Like I said, if you haven't watched it, it's pretty much the precursor to Black Pill video, except it's more layered in some kind of satirical wording when I talk about this in this video. But that came out. I'm trying to think. I had certain videos, like, there was certain videos that would have some more response than others, and I would just, it was very sporadic, or it might just be a random video where I'm sitting around, or it might be, one of my original songs that I did back then where I was like trying to do rap back then when I created Ugly Gang. I also want to point that out for people who don't know. Somebody mentioned in my comments the other day, they're like, well, why is your icon, why is it not you? Why is it not, Eggman or whatever? I've had this icon now for a long time because it was back in 2015, and it blew up now. It's nationwide, but other people have kind of ran off with it. But I created it first back in May of 2015. I still have all the original files and shit to prove that with the date and everything. But I came up with Ugly Gang because I was like, I want to create like a rap thing that makes it cool to be, you can be a ugly looking motherfucker. You can be a dweeby beta type guy, but, you can still come through with some of that sick flow and some of that, you can still go hard and still be respectable, whether you're a manlet or you're genetically inferior, it doesn't matter, we could still be cool. I wanted to make being ugly a cool thing, and, now Little Pump and Smoke Perp and whatever else, they rep Ugly Gang at some point, so I think we maybe kind of made it a successful message, maybe, but anyway. So whatever I was doing at the time just was whatever it was. And then I'm trying to think. To be honest, I don't even remember. Oh, Christ. Because obviously the Black Pill video was the big turning point, but I don't remember if I made the Fembot Myth video before or after the Black Pill. I honestly do not even remember at this point, I'm sad to say. But, the Fembot Myth video and the Black Pill video, obviously, they went crazy, and the Fembot Myth video, actually, the only reason that video was ever 2 parts is because it was raining outside when I made it, and the raindrop, triggered it to stop recording. Can't remember if I ever mentioned that in that particular video. But basically, what happened was, I was just, things were going whatever they were going. I think I maybe had, it's hard for me to remember, but it was maybe like a couple hundred subscribers when I did the Black Pill video, maybe 200-300, somewhere in that range, if I recall correctly. Could be less maybe, but, I just happened to make the Black Pill video. It was totally unscripted, totally just, off the cuff, because I had, I'd made my video before, and I was reading threads on 4chan repeatedly, because I spent so much of my fucking time just repeatedly reading these threads, and then people would be like, oh my god, I messaged my girlfriend with a male model picture, and she said she was gonna leave me for the male model. Oh, how could this happen? How could it be? And I was just like, oh my god, you fucking dumb fuckers. You don't spend as much time reading about this every single day as I do, so I need to school you, and I got so worked up about it, I just fucking went into my car and did the Black Pill video. And, but really what ended up getting to me was, obviously the initial Black Pill video I had 5-digit views. I still remember, because I still have a fucking screenshot somewhere on this computer where I got a notification from YouTube, your first video over 10,000 views. Maybe it had 30,000 or some shit, 20, 30,000 when I ended up deleting my channel, but essentially what happened was, I was excited about it at first, but it became to be too much. It was too much. And it's hard for me to recall 100% exactly specifically, but I just remember waking up and, because I was working nights, so I would, I just remember those days following when I did the video, because I think it was out for 7 or 8 days before I deleted my channel. And I just remember laying in bed, and I would wake up every single day, and I would just be I don't know, it was weird. It was just I don't know, it made me feel uncomfortable, I had been speaking to, really, I guess, an echo chamber maybe, and obviously not everybody, or, there was a lot of people who didn't even really like me a whole lot, but I'm trying to think, it was Well, no, I made the video too about where I was gonna be quitting, or I wanted to quit 4chan or whatever. I don't know. I basically just started to go into like this emotional state, and it really lasted for goddamn near. I mean, it pretty much lasted for like a month, really, because I was just like, I don't know. It became so, everybody was talking about it, and it was like, I didn't even want to, it was just too much. Everything was just too much. I was fucking getting freaked out and worked up over it. So one night, I just, there's videos out there. I basically took a fucking bottle of whiskey and I just started fucking, chugging this bottle of whiskey. I was getting fucked up. I was just laying in bed. I fucking felt like shit. I fucking hated everything. I was like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want, I just want it all gone. I want it all just to fucking go away. It wasn't what I wanted anymore. I had been so all about, just venting and da-da-da, and now I had like all these eyes on me, and I didn't want it anymore. It was like, I was done with it. So, in the presence of Review Bra, which that video is on the First Last channel as well, all the shit's on there. I just, I was on 4chan and I said, fuck this shit, and I fucking deleted my YouTube channel. It was gone. It was totally gone, and I just fucking sat there and I cried a little bit, actually, because I just fucking felt this deep, like, emptiness in my fucking heart and soul, because I was just, oh my god, I was like, why did I do this? Why did I even make these videos? It was so stupid. All this shit's stupid. I fucking hated everything. I was so miserable. And so I ended up spending the next, I still had to go to my job, but I was super miserable. This was right before I was going to Toronto for Fan Expo, though. So it was like, I just hated everything. I was super, super miserable for those days or whatever. But I was still posting, though. I still posted some on 4chan because I was like, I didn't want to use my trip code anymore. I wanted to just be done with it, so I posted a couple times, though, with some timestamps on my pictures because people were, like, making up, oh, he's dead and all this different stuff. So I was doing that at the time. And there's a couple videos out there. There's one that's like faking my timestamps, and some other one where I'm laying in bed. I can't remember, but those are on the First Last channel as well. But speaking of the First Last channel, after I deleted my videos, this guy, First Last, he started uploading everything that had been on my original channel. Now, to this day, I do not know who First Last is. I've never spoken with him real personally. The only time that I've actually ever sent him a message was when I started doing the Next Thread podcast I did, where I was talking to Ben Garrison and Lauren Southern, and that, which I've talked about. That series unfortunately did not work out. It kind of flunked, kind of flopped, kind of failed. But, the dude who I was working with on this podcast, he's like, yo, people are also going to your old channel. Everybody's going to this First Last channel, because he was uploading the videos at the time. Once I decided to recreate my channel as the Egg White channel instead of Egg Man, because I didn't, Eggman is so ubiquitous with like Sega and Sonic and all that. So I was like, well, I'm gonna be Egg White now instead. That's gonna be my thing. So I started making this new channel, and it had like 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 subs or whatever. And the old channel still had like, 2,000 subs because this was, right around the time of like the Oregon shooting and all this, because I had just created the channel like, mid-September, like a month after I deleted the old channel. I decided to remake the new channel and try to do something different with it instead of, what I had done before. So he did, there's like the Dream Chasers video or whatever it was. That was like the last one he uploaded of mine as I was like uploading them simultaneously, and it had like the link to my original video. And so from there, like the Egg White channel then kind of started to take on its own life. But obviously still, all those old videos still get a fair amount of views. The Black Pill video is 230-some thousand views, I think, the last time I checked. I'm sure he gets a bunch of messages regarding that, thinking that, I'm not sure how he responds to it. I wouldn't know. It's really the only time we've ever spoken. It's just that one time when I said, hey, can you like just link to my channel so that way when I do this podcast and stuff, I want to get more people in, which didn't really go anywhere, kind of flunked, kind of flopped, unfortunately. But what was I going to say? I feel like there was a point I was just about to make, and now I totally had a brain fart. One moment, please. I'm not going to edit this. Whoop. Yeah, so anyways, but yeah, I guess, because once I deleted the channel in between before I created the new channel, that was when I was in Toronto, and I can't remember, I think I might have talked about it a little bit in my heroin video, episode number 7, because I did heroin in Toronto. Um, I was just I was aimless, I was having fun up there, and I made some videos, which are also on the First Class channel, where I'm singing in the bathroom, I'm talking about, moving to Canada, because it made me happier to be up there. Those were all uploaded through, like, a temporary video hosting thing, that was, like, uploaded just for certain people to see, which he was able to get those videos, also thankfully, because, like, Egg in the Club and all that, I don't have copies of that, there's so much that I don't have copies of that he does on that channel, so really, despite the fact that we've never really spoken, and some people have said, like, oh man, how could you let him have all these videos with all your views and you don't have these videos? I mean, Eggman, the whole concept of me as Eggman, I guess, I don't know, it's still weird for me to even talk about it like this, but it wouldn't exist as we know it today whatsoever without having had this archive that he's provided. Once again, last year when I went through the whole mental breakdown, it was institutionalized again, and I basically I had all my videos off at first, then I left a couple up as part of a police investigation that was going on at the time. But, he uploaded all that as well. I don't even have a lot of that stuff on my channel publicly anymore, because I've had to go through so many fucking back and forths of having to, private and upload my shit because of people mass flagging my videos and all different other kinds of shit that's gone on, But at least with those ones, if something were to happen, I can at least, have videos up to, post black pill time, but, I guess that's pretty much kind of is the reason why there's, 2 channels, I have a problem, where I feel so, which I do think I'm overcoming now. I can't always control if I kind of go into like a depressive sort of like, oh, I just don't really feel like doing shit. And I kind of feel like, oh, I'm, like just getting out of the picture a little bit. But at least, I haven't had anything quite so drastic as I did back at that time where I was just ready to fucking, delete. I had like over 1,000 subscribers actually at that point when I did delete it, and if I had never deleted that original channel, I might have had maybe a lot more subscribers or whatever. Everybody wouldn't be all fractured, but can't take it back now. We're still working hard, moving towards the future, and still I'm still putting my message out there of whatever I feel like talking about, and whether it's on my old phone, or whether it's now with, a little bit more enhanced technology. Maybe we'll fucking, one of these days, maybe I'll get something even better. Maybe we'll get like a fancy camcorder or something. I don't know. But hopefully we don't have to go through all that shit again. And we can just keep on moving forward from here on out. No more wild things going on to try and impede us. But then again, with my life being so wild and crazy and me being kind of a fucking lunatic, there's really no guarantee. There really, really isn't, to be honest. Like, we could be just a couple bad weeks away from some wild shit. Another black pill video, hopefully not, but you never know, man. I live a kind of a wild life. Even if I'm just sitting around my fucking basement, I just have so much contact with so many people these days. It's kind of, But let's just keep our fingers crossed that it's going to be all upward trajectory from here. We're going to keep on making more good changes to our lives to try and improve our quality of living, try to just do the best we can and keep moving forward. And I guess, those archives will always be there to remind me of, how it was when I was first originally, my ability to speak and enunciate and project my voice has improved somewhat, I would say, comparatively, and we're just, we'll keep on going, hopefully we'll have all good chapters in the Eggman saga from here on forward, and I'm glad that you are all here to spend this time with me, and for all of us to push forward and move forward and keep on trying to do better, despite whatever has gotten in our way and tries to slow us down. So I guess with that, I'll just say once again, so I've never really said this, I do want to say I appreciate the First Last channel dude for archiving so much shit that I've done over the years that I didn't, I never backed up anywhere. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been with me since back then, who's still with me now, and everybody that has come along since then. There's a lot of people who changed up on me, and they said, you know what, we don't like you anymore because you're doing stuff, you're trying to do more with your life, and they didn't like that, but I can't let anybody stop me, you know what I mean? You can't let somebody, basically, you can't let somebody stop what you're doing in your life just because it's, it might not be as enjoyable to them as for you to just sit in the same place forever and have the same problems forever, And I do hope that all of you can also continue moving on and tackling your problems and making more out of life as well. But with that, my friends, I think that will wrap up EggWars today. That is the story of whatever happened to the first Eggman account. I deleted it in drunken rage, and that's why the archive exists and all that. So until next time, my friends, thank you for tuning in once again to another episode. I'm on my meds right now. I'm sorry. I think I've been goofy a little bit this episode. But whatever, and words are weird. Hit me up, dudes, for your Neckbeards copies, and we'll pick another winner again tomorrow. But until next time, my friends, thank you very much for tuning in. I do greatly appreciate it, and we will see you next time.